We are the group 3 from H12C. We all know that we are facing a pandemic today, coronavirus, which affects many of us. This academic blog contains our perception that's supported by some reliable information about the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic to the different social institutions, such as education, health, and family. And without further ado, let's get started! Education. One of the most affected in this pandemic is our education. Since the pandemic was spread in our country, staying at home, observing physical distancing, wearing face masks and face shields are the protocols that we need to follow for our safety. Many establishments are closed, and one of those are school closures. Because of the pandemic, teachers and students, both public and private, needs to adjust to the new normal setting of education. The online learning or the modular. Online learning. Online learning problems are very visible because some of students doesn't have a good and stable internet connection, and not all of the students do have a gadget in able to attend their classes. While in the modular learning system, I can see my cousins and nieces struggling because of the lack of time to do their requirements and their hardness to understand the lesson by their own. And I know most of us seeing some social media posts that some students commit suicide because they can cope up in this new normal setting of education. Like this. And because of that, some of the students requesting for academic freeze. But sadly, the government looks like doesn't hearing their request. And because of the pandemic, the education was not as good as before. I mean, not all of us can easily cope up in this new normal setting of education. Even me was still adjusting. But online and modular learning are stressing. For me, face-to-face classes are still the good quality of education, wherein we can really focus, learn, and understand the lessons well.
Hi guys, I am Paradero from H12C. I am assigned to talk about how COVID-19 affect in our health. To be honest, COVID-19 is a threat in our health. It brings bad effect on us. If a person is in poor health, it is more prone to COVID-19. Many people dies because of the virus. Some of the people start to panic and can cause stress. We all know that stress is not good for us. And not all people who have good health can survive from the virus. Because we all know that virus can spread everywhere and anytime. People learn to prioritize their health to prevent the virus from spreading. People have learned to act better because of the virus that we are facing now. And that's all. Thank you for listening.
COVID-19 is a 21st century pandemic that surpassed our lives this 2020. It made us stay at home with our families and avoided going outside in order to prevent contamination. It has been 5 months since we have been put into quarantine, which means no work and no pay. Lucky for those industries like health, food, and other frontliner works, they still got a job. But for the Filipino families, this pandemic gave them nightmares. In the span of 5 months, most of their savings are emptied now. For Filipino families, which are mostly poor to get started with, the pandemic made them suffer more than their normal life. These online and modular classes are another factors that affected Filipino families. Some students can't even afford to buy loads or a decent gadget in order to participate in online classes. These are the main reasons why suicide news about students appear on social media or public media. This pandemic is such a hindrance not only for the Filipinos, but for everyone in the world.